हरि ओम सुप्रभातम। ओम ओम सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांतिः। हरिः ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ओम। Welcome you all to this Ola Sanskrit Sahitya Rasaswada series. Every Sunday we are meeting at 9:30 and now presently we are reading Abhijnana Shakuntalam. So second act we have already started, and last time we saw, two beautiful verses, and Dushyanta is in the Anusmriti remembering Shakuntala, his meeting with Shakuntala in the first act. And he says that though she did not express her love for me very explicitly, I could see that she is in love with me because, and then he says, whatever she did, snigdham vikshitam, though she tried to look at some other place, some other things, snigdham vikshitam mamuddishya. It was towards me. Then yatam yachanitam bayor gurutaya tad vilasadiva shroni bharadalasagamana, in Meghaduta also. So shroni bhara nitamba jaghana bharad alasyam and mandagamanam is what you can say the characteristic what characteristics of a beautiful woman, Gajagamini. So that is also for her chitta is asakta on me. The chittam chittasya mai asaktatvat. So that's what he feels, that she is going manthara, manda, alasa because she doesn't want to leave my company, So mai chittatvat, mai asaktatvat. And then maga iti uparadhaya yadapi sa sasuya mukta sakhi. She told Priyambada, who are you to stop me or let me go? Who are you? मैं अपने मर्जी की, मी माझ्या मर्जीची मालकीण आहे. So whatever I want, I would do. So that was also matpritya, because she wanted to linger behind for some more time. So, and then a beautiful generalization Kalidasa talks about through Dushyanta, Kami Svatam Pashyati. Whatever she did, matparayanam. I was at the helm of that. Parayanam, paramam ayanam, sa kashtha, sa paragatihi. So it was all directed towards me. She had me in her mind and therefore she behaved in that manner. And then Vidushaka says, Bho vayasya name hastapadam prasarati, he is angabhanga vikalam bhutva tatra atishtat kila. Tarhi saha vadati name hastapadam prasarati. It's a samahara dvandva compound. Tad vang matrena japayishyami. So jayam astu iti udghoshayami vachasa eva. Hastau udyam kartum na shakyate, because my hands, all my joints are as if broken. So jayatu bhavan, like he's standing dandakashtham avalambya, and that way he's saying jayatu bhavan. And Raja asks, kutoyam gatropaghatah? How did this breakdown of your limbs happen? And then he says, we stopped there last time, kutah kila swayam, akshi akuli kritya ashrukaranam pritchasi. आधी डोळ्यात बोट घालायचं आणि पाणी आल्यावर विचारायचं रडायला काय झालं. You are the cause. Akshi akuli kritya, you are as if putting your finger, piercing me in my eye, and when the tears come, you are asking me the cause of the tears. You are the cause. Swayam akshi akuli kritya, akula, vyakula, vivhala, viklava, so many words Kalidasa has used in this, like in the second act only. He is basically Dushyanta. His chitta is also akula. His chitta is akula because he is thinking of Shakuntala all the time. And Akshnoho Prabhata prabhatam samvrittam. That's what this Vidushaka also told us, that he could not even sleep. डोळ्याला डोळा नाही लागला त्याचा आणि पहाट झाली. And therefore he is basically Akula, and Vidushaka is also Akula now because he is disturbed, he is agitated, he is disappointed, and physically he is very fatigued. Okay, so Akuli Kritya Ashru Karanam Pritchasi. So this is like a proverbial statement. Okay, Akshi Akuli Kritya Ashru Karana Prashnaha. So this could be an abhanaka or a proverbial statement. Okay, Na khalu avagachami. I don't quite realize, I don't quite understand why are you saying so. And Bhinnartha Padam Bruhi, something like that. Why don't you split it properly and tell me what happened, exactly what do you want to convey? I don't understand what you're talking about. And then Vidushaka says, Bho Vayasya, and this is a very nice sentence. Bho Vayasya yad vetasaha kubjalilam vidambayati tatkim atmanaha prabhavena nanu nadi vegasya. Now this is a very interesting statement. Vetasaha, Vetas is cane or reed, bamboo. Okay, cane. Now Kubja has two meanings. Kubja, one meaning is, an aquatic plant, so produced in the waters, watery puddle and all that, okay, near the river banks, like canes also. So cane and Kubja, both are like they emerge, they are produced in watery surface, okay. And Kubja also means Kubja, you know the Kubja Bhagavata Purana, like the Krishna, he just lifted her chin and she became erect. So Kubja also becomes humpbacked, one who has hump on the back, henchbacked or humpbacked. So that is also another meaning. Now when this is a very natural thing, and see the proximity in which Kalidas stays, in so close to the nature that all his upamanas come from the natural phenomena, what he sees around. So nature and humans are so closely associated in Shakuntala that they are hardly inseparable. We can't separate them. We can't savor them. And therefore Shakuntala also, we always say that she is a Nisarga Kanya. She is a nature's daughter, okay? Because she grew up with nature, with Madhavilata, with the Mrugashavaka, with Vanajyotsna, with Bakula, with Amra, Sahakara, and all these things, right? And therefore all the Upamanas also come from nature. Truly, Kalidasa is a nature poet. So Vetasaha Kubjalilam Vidambayati. So Vetasa, when there is, a stream of water, a gush of water, the cane will bend down. Bending down. Kubjatva is bending down. It is derived from ku, that is Ishat. Ubjatvam. Ubja is erectness, uprightness. Ishat, there is only little erectness. That means it is all bent up, crooked. Okay, and this is a crooked aquatic plant which is also called Kubja or Nyubja, and Kubja also means bent because they can't stand erect because of the hump on the back. So Vetasa, it bends down when there is a gush of water, and then the water flows far away, it stands erect again. So this is the Kubja Leela, bending down and then taking its own position. Prakrititvamapannaha. Prakrititvamapannaha is used in another context for Dushyanta later on by Vidushaka. So this Vetasa also bends down with the flow and then again stands erect, So Vetasaha Kubjalilam Vidambayati Tatkim Atmanaha Prabhavena. Does the cane on its own bend down? Or Nadi Vegaha Tatra Karanam? What is the cause of that? Raja will answer, Nanu Nadi Vegasya. Nadi vegaha tatra karanam, right? So because of the gush of water, the stream flowing with that speed, that's why the reed bends down and then again takes its own position. It doesn't have its own, it is not the master of its own thing that it will bend down whenever it wants and go back to its position, right? So Nadi Vegaha Tatra Karanam. And very interestingly, the character of Vidushaka, last time also we repeated, I think, he is Kanja, Nyubja, always takes help of Dandakashta and all that. He is having some physical deformity in his physique, physically also he is little bit deformed. So that Kubjalila Vidambayati is so very significantly used for his, and especially now, he is standing in that Tribhanga Mudra, so to say, in Angabhanga Vikalam Bhutva, etc. And therefore, Kubjalila goes exactly verbatim with Vidushaka's present posture. So, yadvetasah kubjalilam vidambayati tatkim atmanaha prabhavena nanu nadi vegasya. And then king will say nadi vegasya. Same here now Dushyanta would say, I am like standing like this with my gatropaghata. It is not because of me. It is you. You are like Nadi Vega. You are the cause of my Angabhanga Vaiklavya or Vaikalya. Okay? So he says, Nadi Vegaha Tatra Karanam, Mama api Bhavan. You are the reason for my Gatropaghata. Kathamiva. And then he explains, see, Evam, in this manner, all these days now, you have set out for the hunting expedition. Evam, Rajakaryani Ujjitva, leaving aside all the royal duties, Rajakaryani Ujjitva, Etadrishe, Akula Pradeshe, again Akula. So many times the Akula Vyakula would come. Etadrishe Akula Pradeshe Vanachara Vrittina Taya Bhavitavyam. You are behaving as if you are Vanachara. Vane charati asau vanacharaha. So एखाद्या रानटी माणसासारखा तू वागतोयस. You are behaving like you are born and brought up in the vana, in the forest. For all these days I have been seeing you, that you get up early in the morning, put on your mrigaya vesha, and you are on the horseback or in the chariot, and ayam shrugalaha, ayam varahaha, ayam mrigaha. With this you are going, ना कुछ खाने के लिए, ना कुछ पीने के लिए, शूल्य मांस भूयिष्ठः आहारः, and then the katuka patrani, that kashaya panam, with the patra patitam jalam, and that to the rock, the streams flowing from the mountains and all, giri nadi jalani piyante, and all that. So you have really become a forester now. But I am not used to all these things, okay? Rajakaryani ujjitva tvaya etadrishe akula pradeshe vanachara vrittina bhavitavyam yat satyam, to tell you the truth. Let me tell you the truth. Yat satyam pratyaham, every day. Shvapada samutsaranaihi sankshobhita sandhibandhanam mama gatranam anishaha asmi samvruttaha. I have no control over my organs. Mama gatranam anishaha. Isha is controller, swami, king, ruler. I can't rule. I can't give any commands to my own organs, to my own limbs. Anishaha asmi samvruttaha. I have become like, very dependent because they don't obey me. My organs don't obey me. Why? Sankshobhita sandhibandhanam. All the joints of my limbs are like agitated. They are broken. They have become loosened. And therefore they don't listen to my commands. Even if I want to stand erect and hasta udyamya, I would have loved to greet you, but my organs won't obey my commands. This is all because of you. Pratyaham, every day. Shvapada samutsaranaihi. Those who, instigate the Shvapadas, the wild beasts, by playing on drums and by taking taking these wild dogs with them who are barking continuously, so that रान उठवणारे हे जे लोक आहेत त्यांच्यामुळे संक्षोभित संधिबंधन, and therefore मम गात्राणाम अनीशा. And this is not one day. Since we have started, pratyaham, every day. Shvapada is very interesting word with like an etymology of that. Shva is dog. Shunaha pada iva, padam iva. Padaha or padani, not padaha. Shuna iva padani yasya, saha shvapadaha. So those who have their feet like that of dog. Normally the pet animals which are around us, they have hooves. Hoof, khur astat त्यांना, khur. But the dogs have nails. And therefore these wild animals, they don't have hooves. They have nails, right? And therefore shuna iva padani yesham te shvapadaha. This word is as old as Rigveda, Atharva Veda. It has been used for Shardula. Shardula, Vyagra. Okay, so in Shatapatha Brahmana also we have this word. So this is not a new word, Shvapada. And Jangli Shvapada, in Marathi we say Jangli Shvapada. It is like a Gaicha Gomutra, because, or Pishta Peshana. Shvapada itself means it's wild, it's jungly. Okay, but then we say Jangli Shvapada, right? So this is like Gaicha Gomutra. That's my favorite, like tautology we say, na? Pishtapeshana or tautology. So, Shvapada samutsaranaihi sankshobhita sandhibandhanam mama gatranam, my own organs, but they don't obey me. I have lost my ownership, the ruling power on my own organs. Tat prasidame, be pleased with me. O Vayasya, O king, be pleased with me. Ekaham apitavad Vishramyatam. At least one day, take rest, so that I can rest well, And maybe if you want, today we are not going anywhere, okay? I want to rest. Prasidamayham. And at least ekaham apitavad Vishramyatam. The king is thinking on the same lines. Swagatam. Now he talks to himself. The Swagata, the Swagata, Janantika, these are the stage directions. The audience is supposed to, all the spectators, the audience, they are supposed to listen to his statement, soliloquy, but the person standing next to him, sitting next to him, is not supposed to. So this is a stage direction. He is not supposed to listen, but everybody else in the world is supposed to listen. So Swagatam Raja says, Ayam Chevamaha. And see, I am also thinking on the same line. I don't feel like going for Mrigaya since I have seen Shakuntala last day and yesterday, and I don't feel like hunting anymore. And see, here he says the same thing. Ayamapi cha evam aha mamapi kashyapasutam anusritya mrigaya viklavam chetaha. Mamapi chetaha viklavam. My mind is also disturbed. And I'm in two minds, whether to go for hunting or desist from that and stay here, okay? Just camp here and not do anything else, okay? Mamapi mrigaya viklavam chetaha. I'm averse to mrigaya, okay? I don't feel like I'm unnerved. So long when I started from my capital city, I was so enthused with the thought of Mrigaya, with the thought of hunting. But now I feel little nervous. I'm unnerved. I feel aversion to this Viklavam Cheta. So many shades of meanings, you can take there. And why? Kashyapa Sutam anusritya, because I am remembering Kashyapa Sutta. He doesn't say Shakuntala. Very significantly again, I mean, this is how, you have to extract some dhvani, some suggested meaning. Though perhaps Kalidasa never wanted to indicate, he never wanted to indicate, but we as a connoisseur and we as a student of Dhvani Shastra, we can extract something. Oh, Kalidasa has used this a very significant word for Shakuntala as Kashyapa Sutta. She is not just Shakuntala. She is not just any girl by one particular name, a proper name. She is the daughter of Kashyapa. Kashyapa is a great rishi. So if I do something else, if tomorrow people were around were to report to Kashyapa that Dushyanta came hunting, and even in the vicinity of ashrama, he was hunting, he was on a hunting spree and this and that, and then Kashyapa will be enraged and he will curse me. All the kings always are fearing, they are afraid of the curse of a Brahmana, especially a rishi like Kashyapa. And this will be reflected in some verses later when he tells Dushyanta that, though apparently these tapasas, these rishis, the foresters, the hermits, they look so calm and quiet. There is gudham dahatmakamasti teja. There is something in them latent in a supine position, in a latent form, teja. So something might trigger it, and that teja will get inflamed, like inflammation. So I don't want to do that, and therefore Kashyapa Sutta and not Shakuntala. So these are the meanings. Dhvani, you may agree, you may not agree, but instead of using just Shakuntala with the name which he has been repeatedly taking, he is saying here Kashyapa Suttam Anusritya Mrigaya Viklavam Cheta, and they are there, all the rishis who are the propounders and preachers of ahimsa. And I am here doing himsa of the pashus. So it doesn't go well, in the vicinity of the ashrama at least. And therefore, Mrigaya Viklavam Chetaha. And then the verse which he gives is very wonderful verse, why he is not feeling enthused about Mrigaya. Excuse me. Kutaha न नमयितुम् अधिज्यमस्मि शक्तः धनुहीदम् आहित सायकं मृगेषु सह वसतिम् उपेत्य यैः प्रियायाः कृत इव मुग्ध विलोकितोपदेशः. कृत इव मुग्ध विलोकितोपदेशः. Why he doesn't want to hunt? He has drawn a very nice analogy, okay? And there is upama here. He feels, whenever he sees, and hunting is normally of the mriga, of the harina. Now, whenever he sees the mrigas, even he thinks of the mrigas, he sees their eyes and he remembers the eyes of Shakuntala. All the beautiful ladies in the Sanskrit dramatic world, in the Sanskrit literature world, are always Mrigakshi, Harinakshi, okay? Chakita Harini Prekshana Nimna Nabhi. In Meghaduta also he describes Yakshapatni like this, okay? Tanvishyama Chakita Harini Prekshana Nimna Nabhi. So the eyes are like that of a doe. They are, one thing, they are elongated like Shatapatravat or Rajivavat, like the petals of a lotus. And secondly, there is Chanchalya. They are not like steady look like this, The eyes of the beautiful women, they will be like Apangalila, Katakshalila, this and that, doing, always flickering at the ends, the corners of the eyes, like the Harini's eyes. And therefore, whenever he sees Harini, he remembers Shakuntala. How will he shoot an arrow at those mrigas who have apparently might have given instructions to Shakuntala about their katakshas. The innocence in that and the fear in that and the mardava, the delicacy in the eyes, all these three come together. So basically it is, the Shakuntala's eyes resemble those of the Mriga, and therefore he doesn't feel like shooting an arrow, releasing an arrow on the Mrigas. Though, what? Adhijya. Ja is Dhanur Maurvi, Dhanur Gunam. So, Jabandha is tying the Ja to the Dhanu. While Rama was doing that, for the Shivadhanushya got broken. First, you have to tie that Ja from one corner to the other corner by bending the Dhanu. And then it becomes Adhijya. The Dhanu becomes Adhijya. So, na namayitum adhijyamapi shaktaha. So, the dhanu is adhijya. The bowstring is tied to the second corner. Okay, the second end. Secondly, even if I put an arrow on the dhanushya, on the bow, adhisayakam, ahitasayakam, adhijyam and ahitasayakam, yet you have to bend it low and pull it to your ear to release the arrow, right? Like this. So the bow gets bent like this, and when you pull the string to your ears, the bow gets bent. Therefore, namayitum na shaktaha. I am not able to bend the bow to which the bowstring is tied and on which the arrow is placed. Adhijyam ahitasayakam dhanuhu kasmin mrigeshu namayitum aham ashaktaha. Na shaktaha asmi. I can't aim at the mrigas, at the deer, though everything, the samagri is ready. It is adhijya and ahitasayaka, yet to bend it and aim it on the deer, I am not able to do that. So this is the karya. And what is the karana for that? This is given in the second half of the verse. This is a Kavyalinga Alankara. Pushpitagra Chanda and Kavyalinga Alankara. And there is a Supta Upama also, Luptopama also. Why? The Karana is given. Saha Vasati Mupetya Yaihi Priyayaha Mugdha Vilokitopadeshaha Kritaha Iva. It is not Upama, it is Utpreksha. It is not Upama. Here it is Utpreksha. It is imagined that as if the deers have instructed. Krita Upadeshaha, have given an instruction to Shakuntala regarding what? Mugdha Vilokita. To glance at anybody or anything with innocence and charm in the eyes. Mugdhani Vilokitani Yayoho Tadrisha Nayanayoho. Okay. Tayoho Upadeshaha iva kritaha. By whom? By the mrigas. Because of what? Saha Vasatim Upetya. Because they are all staying together. In the ashrama, it's a coexistence. Not only the mrigas. The next few verses, Gahantam, Mahisha, Nipana, Salilam, there will be wild buffaloes and Varaha Tatibhihi, Mustakshati. So the Varahas would be there, the Sukara, the boars will be also there. Okay, the bears will also be there. So it's the coexistence, it's ashrama and ashrama mrigoyam nahantavyo nahantavya. If you remember, when Dushyanta entered the ashrama for the first time, that was the instruction given, right? And therefore, saha vasatim upetya, because they are existing together, they are staying together, yaihi mrigaihi, priyayaha, mugdha vilokiteshu, upadeshaha iva kritaha. So as if they have given instruction, she has learnt all that art of glancing at things with that mugdhatva, innocence in the eyes. So they are the teachers of my Priya. All these mrigas, they are the teachers, the gurus of my Priya. How would I dare even to shoot an arrow at them, right? And therefore, namayitum na shaktaha asmi. Beautiful verse, na namayitum shaktaha asmi. Kavyalinga Alankara and Utpreksha. Okay, now see, Vidushaka has told the king that, prasidame and ekaham apitavad vishramyatam, and the king is thinking to himself, and this verse he is thinking, he is muttering to himself. So he hasn't replied back to Dushyanta. Replied back to Vidushaka. So Vidushaka, oh, hello, where are you? Kaha kho gaye ho? Huh? राज्ञः मुखं विलोक्य अत्र भवान् किमपि हृदये कृत्वा मन्त्रयते. You are muttering something, you are thinking something else. You are not paying attention to me. I have been telling you the cause. You are the cause of my Gatropaghata, and I requested you, come on my friend, that at least one day you take rest, and you are thinking something else, and this is like a cry in wilderness for me. Aranye emaya ruditamasit. As if it's a cry in Aranya. Aranya rudita. This is Aranya rudita for me. Your attention, where is your attention? You are not looking at me. You haven't replied to me. You are thinking something else. So your mind is somewhere else, and I have been talking to you. So whatever I said is all in vain. माझं बोलणं सगळं व्यर्थ झालं अरण्य रोदनासारखं. That's what he wants to say. Aranya ruditam iva. Now Aranya rudita is a typical what you can say this thing, a proverbial statement, and Aranya rudita. And then there is something from this one, Niti Shataka, I think somebody has given there from Niti Shataka. I will just read it out. Aranya ruditam Vilokiteshu Aranya virutam. So this is from Niti Shataka. Aranya rudita is something which is done without having any impact or effect. So it is all vyartha. It is, it's trivial, it's insignificant. It has been rendered fruitless and meaningless. That is what the meaning is. And for all such expressions where, it turns to be very meaningless, the phrase Aranya Rodana or Aranya Rudita is used. So Aranya Ruditam Kritam, then Suchiram Ushare Varshitam. Suchiram, Ushara is a barren land. If there is plenty of rain, but on a barren land, then there is not going to be any vegetation coming out of it. Aranye ruditam, Ushare suchiram varshitam, Shvapucham avanamitam. कुत्र्याचं शेपूट नळकांड्यात घातलं तरी वाकडं ते वाकडच. Like Shvapucham, if you put the tail of a dog in a cylindrical thing in a pipe, and then you take it out, it will again turn crooked like this. It can never be straightened. So that effort is meaningless. So Svapucham avanamitam badhirakarna japaha. If badhirakarna japah kritaha, if you mutter something or talk something to the person who is deaf, badhirakarna japah kritaha, and dhritaha andhamukha darpanaha, and you are holding a mirror in front of a andha, a blind man, it's all in vain. And therefore, Niti Shataka Bhartrihari says, Yad abudho janassevitaha. When you are in servitude of, or when you serve abudha jana, not a very wise person, a fool, abudha, then all that service is meaningless. It won't yield any fruit. If you are serving, if you want to serve Buddha person, serve a jnani, a vidwan, not abudha, a fool, because that won't give any fruit. So in that, Bhartruhari has used all these aranya virutam, ushare, suchiram, varshitam, etc., etc. So that is what is aranya rudita. So this is all in vain, he says. So who am I talking to? You are not listening to me at all. So aranya ruditam iva maya kritam. Aranye eva ruditam. Then Raja says Sasmitam. He has heard what Vidushaka said, okay? And then says Sasmitam, he says, Kimanyat, what else can I think? I am not beyond your words. I have to pay attention to your words, and whatever you say is acceptable to me. I am in agreement, okay? Anatikramanam me surudvakyam iti sthitosmi. I kept silent. Sthitosmi, I just stood, matlab I just sat silently without talking, because surudvachanam anatikramaniyam. Whatever a friend says, I can't go beyond your words. So I am in agreement. Chiranjeeva, he's so happy. Oh, great. Chiranjeeva. Iti gantum ichchati. So his work is done. Now he wants to go and rest. Iti gantum ichchati. Raja says, Vayasya tishtha. Savashesham me vachaha. I haven't yet completed. I want to say something else. Because the king wants to open his heart to Vidushaka. He's his bosom friend, right? And therefore he wants to share whatever was there in his mind and how he is in a fix because she is a tapasa kanya and how to approach her and all that. So he would definitely need Vidushaka's help, because Vidushaka is Narma Sachiva, Karyantara Sachiva. Therefore, he would need Vidushaka's help. Vayasya tishtha savashesham me vachaha adnyapayatu bhavan. Okay, now he is like, mockingly says, okay, order me. Now he is so pleased that there is no mrigaya, he will get full day rest. Adnyapayatu bhavan. Kai adnya apli? Bola. Now everything is okay with him. Now he can stand direct, his Kubja Leela is gone. So he is come to his normal state. Raja says, Vishrantena bhavata mama api ekasmin anayase karmani sahayena bhavitavyam. It's a bhave construction, bhave prayoga. So you also have to help me. I am helping you right now by consenting and conceding to your request that we should not go for hunting and at least one day we should take rest. So I am open to you. Now you also do something, some favor to me. I am obliging you. I need some reciprocative obligation, some favor from you. And this karma is not much of a ayasa for you, not troublesome, It's a very easy task. Anayase karmani tvaya sahayena bhavitavyam. A task which is not troublesome to you, and I seek your help in that. Kim modaka khadikayam. What else is anayasa karma for a glutton like Vidushaka? It's only khana, that is modaka khana. Laddu khane hai, kabhi bhi. Te nahi sugruhitam ayam kshanaha. Then I seek the first opportunity to do your thing. Oh, modak khana hai, laddu khana hai. I'm always there at your disposal. Kim modaka khadikayam. So modaka khadika. Like this, there are some words like Odana Pachika, Odana Khadika and all that. So Odana Khadika and Modaka Khadika. Modaka Khandika is another word for that. Modaka Khandika. Khandika is sugar. So the sweet meats, sweet things, that is the thing. And the other words are Odana Bhojika and Payah Payika. By the Vartika, Katyayana's Vartika, Dhatvartha Nirdesha, etc. So, nul suffix is added, nul pratyaya, and that nul by yuvoranakau, vu becomes aka, and then khada plus nul, khadika, and khadika becomes an action of eating the modaka. So, modaka khadika, odana bhojika, payah payika. So these are the words which are formed from this grammatical sutras. So, tena hi ayam sugruhitaha kshanaha. Then I take the first opportunity to say yes to your task. Now, kshanaha is a very interesting word, Kshana means what? You will say kshana is a moment, right? Kshanardha. Kshane kshane yannavatamupayiti tadeva rupam ramaniyatayaha, as Magha says. Every moment, the thing which adds charm, that alone can be called beautiful. Kshane kshane yannavatamupayiti, which appears new to you, it brings novelty, that alone can be called ramaniya, charming thing. And kshanabhangura, right? Momentary. So, kshana vinasha. Kshana is pal, one moment, few seconds. So that is one meaning of kshana. And kshanati dukkham or kshanoti dukkham. I think kshana is the root. Kshanati dukkham, that which diminishes, veins out the sorrow, is called kshana. And interestingly, our word in Marathi for a festival is San. San is derived from Kshana. Another meaning of Kshana in lexicons is Utsavaha. Because that is a thing which, which causes the decrease in your sorrow. It increases your high spirit. It enthuses you. So much of enthusiasm is there, celebration mood is there, festive mood is there. So all the dukkha goes away, flees away, right? So kshanoti dukkham. And therefore from kshana, the Marathi word sana, san, vrata, vaikalye, sana. So Diwalicha san, Holicha san, Nagapanchamicha san, right? So this san, this word in Marathi is a derivation from kshana, which means utsava. And etymologically also it is very, very significant. Okay. Tena hi sugruhitaha kshanaha. So I take it as a festive moment. You can translate it adding both the meanings to that. It is a moment, but it is something which is gladdening to me because I will get an opportunity to eat modakas. Tena hi sugruhitaha kshanaha. Then Raja says, hold on. In what I want your help? Yatra yasmin karmani vakshami. I will tell you. In the meanwhile, kaha kotra bhoho, who is there at the door? So pravishya dauvarikaha, his name is Raivataka, the Dwarapala, the doorkeeper. He comes, the king will just clap and somebody will come there. So he comes there, Ajñapayatu Bharta. Raivataka Senapatistavad ahuyatam. Let the Senapati be called. Now the king wants to declare that it's a holiday, right? So we are not going anymore for hunting expedition. So Senapati should be called. He is accompanying him. He is the leading force, behind all the soldiers. So Senapatistavad ahuyatam. Tatha iti nishkramya Senapatina saha punaha pravishya. See, morning, this is the morning time scene, and morning the Raja has already got ready for Mrigaya, because as every day, Pratyaham, he will be going in the morning. So he is all ready. But then when he is talking to Vidushaka, and then he also thinks, and then he says, oh, adhijyam, ahita sayakam, namaitum nashaktaha. Then he thinks, how can I hunt the deers, right? Which are so dear to my dear Shakuntala, and therefore I don't want to do that. So this is all an afterthought after coming to and talking to Vidushaka. So he's all set, all ready. So Senapati must be waiting outside only for his Ajna. Yes, chalo, kuch kara. And therefore he calls him. Senapati enters immediately, because you may wonder, oh, the Dwarapala went and immediately came with Senapati. How is it possible? It's all logical, because they are all ready to move. Senapatina saha punaha pravishya esha ajna vachanotkantaha bharta ito datta drishtihi eva tishtati. The king has called for Senapati and is looking at the door when Senapati would enter, because he wants to tell him something. And therefore, ajna vachana utkantaha. he is all ready to give some orders to the Senapati. Utkantha, ready. Utkantha, basically, Udgataha Kantaha Yasya, one whose neck has turned up like this. Oh, do this, you know. Otherwise, you will be doing something else and your Kantha would be down. So, Udgataha Kantaha, literally also, you know, Adnya Vachana Utkantha, to give an order, he's so ready now, even the delay of a moment, he doesn't want to cause the delay. And immediately he wants to call off that expedition and call off all the soldiers who have already gone ahead, you know. So the instant action, this is the king's power. This is the leader's power, you know. The leader has to be like this. Once he decides, there should not be delay. Oh, should I do this? Should I not do this? Should I ask the Senapati to call off? Or no, what he will think, nothing doing. Once you decide, order should go immediately. So, Ajna, Vachana, Utkantha, he's all eager to give the Ajna, and therefore literally Udgataha, Kantaha, Yasya, Saha. Ito Datta Drishtihi, and he's looking at the door from which the Senapati would enter. Ito Datta Drishtihi Tishtati, Upasarpatu Aryaha. So, this Aryaha he is addressing to Senapati, Upasarpatu Aryaha. Senapatihi Rajanam Avalokya Drishtadosha api Swamini Mrigaya Kevalam Guna Eva Samvrutta. Mrigaya Drishtadosha api. People see many faults in Mrigaya, that is hunting. So it is been like Badnaam hui hai. Aisi cheez hai. Mrigaya is a Badnaam, defamed thing. Drishtadosha api. But in the case of the king, Kevalam Guna Eva Samvrutta. But this has turned as a Guna in the case of Maharaj Dushyanta. So people, though accuse and criticize this hunting, you know, as a sport, I feel it has made lot of change, you know, and a very positive change as far as King Dushyanta is concerned. There are some Pathabhedas here. Mrigaya Kevalam Gunayaiva Samvrutta. That is one Pathabheda. And another, the entire sentence is different. Drishtadoshaha, not Mrigaya, it is Mrigaya Viharaha. Drishtadoshaha Swaminaha Mrigaya Viharaha Sagunaha Eva Samvruttaha. Of course, the meaning doesn't change. The words here and there they change, the meaning remains the same. And then there is a very nice verse, very nice verse, verse number 4. And this is Malini Nanamayaya Vritta, Malini Vritta. Anavarata Dhanurja Sphalana Krura Purvam Ravi Kirana Sahishnu Svedale Shairabhinnam Apachitam Apigatram Vyaya Tattvad Alaksham Girichara Ivanagaha Pranasaram Vibharati. Very beautiful verse. The commentary is more beautiful than the verse perhaps. So this why Senapati feels that the Mrigaya has turned Guna in the case of Maharaj Dushyanta, how it has turned his physical posture in a very covetable, lovable physical position, you know. And he looks like a wild elephant. Girichara iva nagaha. Nagaha hasti. Girichara hasti iva pranasaram bibharti. Pranasaram bibharti. He is as if, you know, has the very essence of life. Pranasaram. Essence of prana. Pranasaram. Sara is essence. Pranasaram bibharti. That is essence of life. Life is given by prana. Prana, that is the life breath which gives you strength. So he is strength personified. He is like a strength personified, like a wild elephant. Girichara Ivanagaha. Okay. Now Girichara Ivanagaha, he is not a naga, he is not a hasti, an elephant in a zoo, or in a protected area, it's a wild elephant. And therefore the Swachandatvam anena gamyate. He is like that mast, wild elephant. Wherever he wants to go, he would go. So Girichara, that Girichara Shabda, that word has this dhvani, the shades of the meaning. Girichara ivanagaha pranasaram bibharti. He looks like a strength embodied, like the wild elephant. And then the first three charana, the first three quarters, they describe how Dushyanta's body, the whole body, exhibits that strength, in one way or the other. How? Anavarata dhanurjasphalana krura purvam. Krura normally means cruel. Phonetically also they are same. But krura also means kathina, hard. Purvam. Now all these, neuter, gender, singular, nominative singulars, they are the adjectival words of gatram in the third line. Apachitam api gatram, you locate that gatram, and all the neuter singulars are the visheshanas, adjectives, attributes of that gatram. Gatram is the full body. Gatrame means avayava, but here it represents the samuchaya, the body. So his body is like what? Purva Gatram, the forefront of the body, the upper part of the body, is krura, kathina, has become hardened because of anavarata dhanujjasphalana, because of rubbing off the dhanuja, what is that? Bowstring. He is, he's pulling, drawing the bowstring again and again, anavarata, continuously. While on the mrigaya, every now and then one arrow would be shot at ayam mrigala, ayam shrugala, ayam varaha, etc. So incessant shower of arrows will happen, and therefore every now and then he is pulling that bowstring till his ears are karananta, and that will make his forepart, the bahu, especially in the arms, very kathina. In fact, we have seen that the ja ghatta, there is a ghatta, a scar on the shoulder, right shoulder, right? For Arjuna, it will be on the left also because he is Savyasachi, right? But for others, they are right-handed people, it will be the right shoulder will have the scar of Jasphalana. And this is not once or twice, while he is out for hunting, and even otherwise for in the wars, etc. Anavarata Jasphalana krura purvam gatram. The first visheshana is clear. Anavarata, incessant. Jasphalana, that is pulling of the bowstring. And because of that, krura purvam, his purva gatra has become kathina, hard. It's not soft, hard, like triceps and biceps, like very strong. Then, Ravi Kirana Sahishnu. Ravi Kirana Sahishnu, he has to roam around in the hot sun also. In Madhyana also, there is no rest, right? If there is any rest, it will be under the shady tree, that's it. But otherwise, continuously they are out in the forest, and therefore Ravi Kirana Sahishnu. So he is Sahishnu, Ravi Kirana Sahishnu. So he is having that Ravi Kirana Sahishnu, Atape api aklantam. In the hot sun also, in the heat of the sun also, he is not tired. He doesn't feel exhausted or fatigued. Anena dukkha sahishnutvam vyajyate. So he can tolerate. His tolerance is on a high level. He can tolerate the hot sun as well. Okay. The first part which has given you is, what is that? Danuja astra prahara kshamatvam. The Kathina Purva Bhaga that suggests, this is the commentary of Raghava Bhatta, and Raghava Bhatta says that the first Visheshana, Anavarata Dhanujjasphalana Krura Purvam, suggests Danuja Astra Prahara Kshamatvam. So he is capable of bearing the shower of Danuja Astra, enemies or opponents' weapons as well. So his body is that hard. वो झेल सकता है सब कुछ. Okay. So Danujastra Praharana Kshama Balatvam, that is the first thing. Then Anavarata, that is Sarvada, so it is not one time, so Sarvadatva. Then Ravikirana, that gives you Dukkha Sahishnutvam. Then Sveda Leshai Rabhinnam. Even if there is Sveda, the drops of perspiration, they don't bother him at all. They don't break him down. Abhinnam. Otherwise, थोड़ा आतप बढ़ गया, थोड़ी गर्मी बढ़ गई, oh it's so hot, we want to put on the fan or put on the AC, we don't want to sweat ourselves and reduce our body by sweating and perspiring. That is also needed. And on the hunting expedition, Svedaleshaihi, he is not at all split. He is not at all, bothered about Sveda. That is one reading. It is Khedaleshaihi, another reading, Kheda. He doesn't feel fatigued or exhausted, even though, he is out in the sun. Khedaleshaihi abhinnam. And there is third Pathabheda, Klesha Leshaihi. So whatever difficulties he is enduring, he can endure that. So he doesn't give way. When he faces the difficulties, he doesn't give way, har manat nahi, he is ready to face everything. Klesha leshaihi api abhinnaha anena tasya shramajayitvam vyajyate. He has conquered fatigue. He has conquered exertion and exhaustion. That is what is there. So immunity, he has immunized his body to such an extent that he doesn't feel that fatigue at all. And apachitam apigatram, though he has reduced a little, apachitam krishatvam, though he has reduced a little bit, vyayatatvad alaksham, his original stature, is like a robust build, and therefore it is not noticed. Alaksham, it is not noticeable. Shala pranshuhu mahabhujaha, like that, and like kapata vakshaha. So this is the regular build of Dushyanta, like all the Raghu kings, like Rama, like how Valmiki also describes him. Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.